This video is going to be a several part video. This is a Remington 597 that I purchased for my daughter. I have two others of my own. Some of the issues with the Remington 597 are the older magazines and the extractor in the bolt and the trigger pull. All three cause problems. Specifically the extractor in the older magazines cause problems with misfeeds and jams. If you get third generation magazines, that'll fix about half your problems. And then the other way to fix a problem is with a new extractor. This video is actually going to be several parts. What I'm going to do with this is I'm going to free float this stock. So I'll go over how to free float the stock. I'm going to mount sling swivels in there. These do not come with it. I've seen questions pop up on rimfirecentral.com on how to do that. So I'll cover that in this video also, or in these videos I should say. How to replace the hammer and how to replace the extractor will be covered in there. All of the internal parts to polish just to give it a smoother action, a smoother trigger pull, and just a basic field strip of it. The last thing I'll cover with this set of videos is mounting the scope. I'll cover mounting the scope on the Remington 597. And specifically, as I mount that, I will cover using the Caldwell scope mounting kit to properly mount the scope, including lapping and aligning the scope and leveling the scope with the level kit that comes with the Caldwell scope mounting kit. And like I said, I think what we'll do is we'll start with just the basic field strip of this rifle for purposes of cleaning it. First thing, of course, is always to make sure that the weapon is clean. Or clear rather. Make sure that the magazine is out, no rounds in the chamber. To disassemble the Remington 597, use an Allen key, just a 1/8 inch standard Allen key. On the bottom there are two Allen bolts, one in front and one in back of the receiver. Just loosen those. Go ahead and take them out completely, and that will separate the action in the receiver, or the action in the stock. And once you get these out, you'll notice that there's two different lengths. Notice that there's two different lengths. The shorter bolt goes in front, the longer bolt goes in the back. You won't mess that up. You can put the shorter one in the wrong hole, but you can't put the longer one in the wrong hole, because if you start it in the wrong hole, it's not going to screw down all the way. Once you get those loosened or taken out, just grab the stock and it will pull free of the action. What I do to help that is just use my thumb to push on the bottom of the trigger guard, and that'll pop right out. Once you get it apart that far, if you're just taking it apart to clean it, if you look on the receiver, right there, there's a pin. Push that pin out. It doesn't matter which way. Push it to get it started. You can use a push pin or Allen key or whatever you've got. Set that aside where you won't lose it. Now when you take this apart, rock the back out first and then slide it out. You'll see on the front of the receiver. Again, just a basic field strip for cleaning purposes. You will need to take the charging handle off. Right there, that's pretty easy. It literally just pulls out. It's that simple. Also, your guide rods and guide rod springs will have to come out. You take those out by removing these two Allen bolts, which are in with a 3/32 Allen head bolt, and then these rods, the springs, the rods will actually come out through those holes. Just making sure you catch the springs, because the springs will pop up and out here. And then your bolt carrier group will just literally fall out in your hand. take these screws out. One of the things that you do to make this function a little better is when you reassemble this, these two bolts need to go in nowhere near as tight as they are from the factory. Now the easiest way to get these out is I like to hold this upside down and then just work that bolt back and forth, and usually at least one of those will work out the bottom just like that. Once that comes out, just grab a hold of it, push your hand over the top so that the spring doesn't go anywhere, and then just pull it all the way out, and that spring will pop right out into your hand. The other one sometimes works out the same way, other times it doesn't. If it doesn't, pull your bolt all the way to the rear so that you expose that, reach through with two fingers and just start it that way. Once you get it started, just release the bolt, do the same thing, pull it out, catch that spring. And your bolt, just follow it in your hand. Clean the inside of that. Clean this up real good. There's your field strip for cleaning purposes.